Hi everybody, welcome to BrickVault, it's Mike here and welcome to our weekly Top 10 MOCs episode. If you are new to the channel, this is where we show our favorite MOCs from the passing week in somewhat of a top 10 fashion. At the end of the episode you can find your LEGO fan creations that you can send to our BrickVault FanMOCs email appearing on the screen right now. All the rules for submitting your MOCs as well as the links to all the galleries of the top 10 MOCs can be found in the video description below. And before we get into the list, a quick update on our MOCs store at www.brickvault.toys. The latest model that was added to the instructions pool is this beautiful Ultimate Collector Series scale 1989 Batmobile by Dave Slater. This highly accurate model hosts a number of amazing features and gizmos, and there is a detailed video on our channel made by Jack if you wanna check it out. Every purchase you make from our store supports our channel and definitely the designers that work with us on these amazing models. Now this week we have a nice mix of traditional MOCs with interiors, vignettes, buildings, along with some sci-fi, even steampunk builds, and also an occasional mech that I always like to add. And this week we are starting small but kind of big. This amazing bust is coming from George Pantelon aka Zeto Vince, and it depicts Obelix from a very popular comic book. First things first, I'm a big fan of Asterix and Obelix comics. I mean, not right now, but as a kid I read them a lot and those were probably one of my favorite characters from my childhood. And for the build itself, you gotta appreciate the use of those oblique pieces in tan, depicting the nose, the cheeks, and even the head, the back of the head of this amazing bust. That is probably one of the best uses of a piece for such build. This character is known for having quite a bulky head and nose, and I think those are the best pieces you can possibly use for that look. His iconic mustache and hairstyle is also very well made, and overall the build is very appealing. George also used the same or similar technique to get Brian Griffin from Family Guy, and yeah, his nose is also very oblique and he used white ones instead, so actually the look and the feel is kind of the same. I do like those style. Moving up to number 9, changing the style a bit to, well, a bit simpler, but I do love the depiction of this scene and the idea behind it. I'm not sure what's so appealing about this, but I just love it. I love Alien, and this comes from the user named DVD, and the title is simply Alien in Office. You can definitely agree that the build style and the techniques used are very minimalistic, simplistic even so. Just the idea of having the xenomorph in somewhat of a white collar outfit in the office is very appealing. Love the contrast with the red tie, and the white shirt actually works very well with those clothes and the xenomorphic head. The build for the head, by the way, is pretty nice, using some transparent black pieces. And you can definitely appreciate the build for the chair and his suitcase with nice golden elements. Old school style computer, and I think a rat on the desk. Well, aliens have a thing with cats if you watch the movie, but overall I really appreciate the idea and the execution. I think this is creativeness at its finest. Plus you can swap his head with the monitor, which is added points. Going up the list, number 8 comes from no one else but Lego 7, I think at this point our favorite builder on Flickr, and every single mock of his of course is very appealing. This time is no different. We have the Angel of Ultimate Destruction, a take on a Next Knights build. Pretty good timing considering the fact that Next Knights have been cancelled, pretty much the last wave was the last one in the entire theme, and this one shows the previous kind of vibe with those thunder guys and rocky monsters. On the streams we had a blast building those sets. Some of them were pretty ridiculous with like moving rock monsters that have wheels and faces. This catches the vibe pretty well with the face of such monster on the chest of this creature, and a pretty awesome build using those very nice pieces from the theme with the rocky formations and the wings that are in the back. Love the stand as well. This flying intimidating pose of Angel of Destruction is really cool captured, and it kind of makes me miss Next Knights already. I mean, I was a fan kind of the theme because of how good of parts we were getting from that one in such awesome colors and awesome figures as well. So I guess this build is a great homage and a goodbye to kind of beloved theme of mine. And moving up to number 7, this one is coming from a builder that I was not familiar with. This comes from Gerald Kakas, and this is the Bugatti Chiron in a 6 stud wide scale. A very popular newest set as of this recording from the Technic line, and this small Bugatti actually hosts all the features of the big brother. I'm quite impressed he was able to fit all these moving parts in such a small build. That being said, you have a pretty much everything, including the engine in the back. As you can see, It's being taken apart so you can see the pistons, opening doors, opening hood, and even the shape is captured in this small form. That is quite impressive and could very well go together with the big Technic set. And I'm glad I bumped into this builder because he seems to have more cars in this scale on his Flickr feed. So I will definitely follow this builder to see what he comes up with in the future in terms of Speed Champions cars. And moving up the list, this is the sci-fi stuff you've been waiting for. With number 6, we have a build from Andreas Lenander called the Corridor. I like the grittiness of this image, kind of a darkish, maybe Blade Runner style of photography, but you can see what seems to be a maintenance bay for walkers, those depicting the ones that you have seen probably in the Alien movies, but they definitely look so much cooler with all the gribbling in grey here. A lot of maintenance equipment with very cool lighting at the top, and if it wasn't for the classic space figurines, you can tell that it's taken from somewhere else. I like how those are similar in mechanics but have different arm attachments for different purposes, and even the small cart that the guy is pushing at the bottom with this barrel of cargo, whatever that is, it's adding a bit more dynamic to the whole scene. Andreas has a wide variety of different builds on his Flickr page, definitely check those out, but I think for me what he makes the best are those neoclassic space things. Now let's get onto some Star Wars stuff. That is a very interesting take of a classic Star Wars ship, the A-Wing from fictitious pasta. It's called the Starravager, and it is a bit different than your usual A-Wing, kind of like a lowercase A-Wing, if I may. But in such a small build, you gotta appreciate all the techniques that he used. The shape of the body is quite impressive given the amount of parts that were used, and I think it has a sort of a sliding cockpit, a feature that's often omitted in such scale MOCs. Even though it's quite small in form, it does take a bit of a difficulty and skill to put it together, as you can see on this breakdown picture. I think in this form it can work as a sort of a scout version of the A-Wing, which is even weirder because A-Wing already is a very agile craft. It's designed for scout missions and interceptions, so having an even smaller version of this craft would just improve agility by a lot. And I always appreciate new takes on the classic ships, and this one is a great example. Now for number 4, I have chosen something for all you dragon lovers. This is coming from Henjin Quilons, and that is the Kijani, the Earth Dragon. We are just after building a massive wave of Ninjago sets, a lot of them were dragons, and seeing this thing was immediately my choice for the list. It's a very good looking dragon. I definitely love the stand for it. It looks like it is in his, natural environment, but overall everything here reminds me of the very good set of the Green Dragon from the Ninjago movie sets. The head is very well made with just a few pieces, but captures the shape very nicely, and as we move towards the back you can see how massive the wings are. Great use of those cloth pieces to spread the wings as much as it's possible, so the span is very impressive, and there is of course a space for the minifigure to ride the thing. It looks more like the dragon from fantasy lores, nothing of the Ninjago type, but that is what makes it that much more impressive. Of course you can take it off the stand, and in that way it's quite posable for a creature of this size, and overall in some poses it looks like your friendly neighborhood dragon that everyone wants to pet. And getting into the top 3, I have a very nice build to present to you that comes from Marius Herrmann, a build that we know for awesome video game builds like Horizon Zero Dawn. This is another build in his series. This is the ShellWalker from the game. It was one of the most, let's say, friendly creatures that you can encounter. Those guys were mostly carrying a lot of loot. If you shot the cargo container of them, you can get a lot of stuff for your character. And ShellWalkers were also one of the best animated vehicles or monsters or machines in the entire game. Marius captured the shape of this crab-like creature very nicely. It also has the functions to disassemble or disconnect the container that it's carrying, and I especially love the build for the container itself as well as the arms that the creature is using to move it around. There are so many creatures available for this game to build. We already have the Thunder Joe from a different builder in our store, but I am definitely looking closely to what Marius will come up with next. And let's get to number 2. I guess this week's list is dominated by sci-fi vehicles. This is Colonial Raptor from Battlestar Galactica from David Duperron. I am not very familiar with Battlestar Galactica's technology, but according to the wiki page, the Raptor's primary function with the Colonial Defense Force is an electronic warfare platform. As far as I know, that kind of resembles the US Navy's EA-6B Prowler craft or the newest Growler that's based on the FA-18 Hornet. But apart from the technical details themselves, the ship looks very good in Lego form. I love this kind of like earthly look, maybe like a futuristic form of an actual spacecraft that we may build in the future. It does have impressive engines in the back, the shape is quite cool, maybe resembles even the ones from Halo, and of course it scales very well with previous David's builds, that is the Colonial Viper and the Cylon Raider. A very decent execution of a UCS scale model, and definitely compares in quality to the remaining builds from this collection. And with number 1, this is the scale, and I think the amount of work that went into this, it's a somewhat of a different build than the rest of the list, and it's coming from Helen Sham. And what it is, it's a full-scale Lego Mario vs Donkey Kong arcade machine. It's working with console inside, but everything else, the outer shell and I think all the structure inside, is made out of Lego. Now it's a very cubical build as those classic arcade machines go, but you gotta admit that the build for the decorations around it is quite nice. What stands out is the Donkey Kong figure at the very top. This one is quite impressive in scale. There is Mario and the princess alongside it, and a few things on the sides depicting the graphics from the game, or just classic Mario snapshots, if I may. I think Helen is quite an experienced builder in, getting big stuff done. As you go through her Flickr page, you can see what I mean. But this is another great achievement in this massive scale building, and quite a functional one, because not often you see an actual working arcade machine in the Lego form. So I was very impressed by it, and definitely brings out the nostalgia in this build. And that is it for this week's top 10 list. I had more than 10 mocks to choose from. I'm gonna link everything I found below. Some of them were really cute as well, like this hazmat suit or this beautiful artistic scene called the Dancers. Check those out and make sure to give those builders a follow. And now it's also time to show off your fan creations that you guys are sending to our email. If you wanna send more for next week, the rules are below, as well as the email that's flashing on the screen right now. If you follow those simple rules, it makes it easier for us to get those mocks into the episode. Alright, that's gonna be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, you can leave a like if you haven't already, subscribe if you haven't already, and click that notifications button to basically know whenever we upload a new video. Thanks so much for watching again. It was Mike, and we'll see you next time on BrickVault.